Career mode is back, guys. This is part number 32 of the F1 2014 Career Mode Championship for Season 2. This is the Russian Grand Prix, and after this there's only 3 races left in the season. Daniel Ricciardo, in the first part of qualifying 3, has put it in the wall here, and he's out of this qualifying session. But I wonder if he's put in a time yet. That's going to be interesting to see at the end of the session. So far, we're in P8 at the moment. Setting a banker of a 1 minute 41.0. The rain is now starting to come down in this third sector though, but we are 5/10ths up on our previous personal best. We need to get close to Hamilton because the championship standings are absolutely so close at the moment. There's only 2 points separating us, and we can't allow Hamilton to out-qualify us by a big margin. So if he wins this race or even finishes in front of us, then he could potentially take the lead back, and we just can't afford that with only a couple of races left to go. But coming through the final corner now, where are we going to end up in this qualifying session? It is position 3. Get in there, lads. We're only 3/10ths away from the Mercedes, and we set that time in the wet. So, with a little bit less rain, I think we could have potentially got pole there. So here we go, ready for the Russian Grand Prix. Let's go to the race. This is it, lads. The Russian Grand Prix. There's only 3 races left in the championship. We simply just need to beat Hamilton in this race. That is our only goal for the Russian Grand Prix, and away we go here in Russia. Looks like an actual decent start for once as we come into turn 1 now. We'll try and get a slipstream off of Rosberg if we can, but Hamilton gets off to probably the best start of anyone of the leaders now. And the 2 Mercedes cars blocking the inside line now as we head into turn 1. We outbrake Rosberg ever so slightly, but there's just a wall of Mercedes cars there on the inside there. They were leaving the turn in so late that I just couldn't turn in, and with the realistic damage mod, I wasn't prepared to risk that. But now we can see Fernando Alonso right behind us in P4 trying to attack us. But now we're going up the inside of Rosberg, who leaves us the space, and he's completely just gone off the track there and into the polystyrene barrier. He is out of the Grand Prix. He lost a bit of his wheel, and now Ricciardo has lost his front wing as well. So what is going on with these AI cars? They're just completely self-destructing in this race. Look at this. You can see on the replay of Rosberg, he goes off the track, and then he just completely turns into the path of the Pirelli board there, and he was out of the Grand Prix because of that. I've never seen the AI just self-destruct like this. It's unbelievable. But here's the replay of Ricciardo just a few seconds later. He got tagged onto the back of Alonso's left rear tyre, and he was out of the Grand Prix too. So now we're down to 19 runners. It's 17 runners now. What is going on with the AI cars? As we come to the end of the first lap now, we can see myself and Hamilton have a massive lead over the rest of the field. It's now down to me to try and catch Hamilton and win the race. It's not very often that I've had a scenario like this where it's just been a straight up fight between myself and Hamilton. And luckily though, we actually do have the pace. We're catching Hamilton by about 5/10ths a lap. We're going purple every single sector, and now lap 6, the tyre wear starting to come into it, not going purple anymore, but the gap is now down to 1.2 seconds. We can see we're almost about to get DRS off of Hamilton, as we just lost another 2 runners in the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, that was Jenson Button. He got tangled up with someone else after he made an early pit stop. It's just unfortunate. I think he might have tangled with a slower car because of the closing speeds. I'm not too sure. But anyway, lap 7 now, we're coming in for the undercut because we're trying to get the lead off of Hamilton. He's scheduled to come in on the very next lap. So we're going to try and push as much as we can on a brand new set of option tyres and hopefully get the lead back. It's going to be a pretty big fight between myself and Hamilton for the rest of the race. I must admit, it's going to be very tough because we're going to be on a set of options. We'll get the lead back potentially, but then for the rest of the race, we're going to struggle for tyre wear, I think, because Hamilton is just going to have fresher tyres for the rest of the race. So it's going to be very interesting. We actually burned a lot of fuel to stay with Hamilton. We're down on -1 at the moment, but we're going to continue to push, continue to burn fuel, and then once we get track position, try and get our race back in order if we can. So the very next lap, we can see Hamilton has come out of the pits now, and he's actually put in a very good in-lap because he's maintained the lead. If anything, he's actually stretched out his lead after the pit stop phases, but luckily for us, he put on the prime tyres through the middle part of the race. So Mercedes, have opted to go for a safe strategy here. He's going to be a lot slower through the middle part of the race. If he can hold me up through this part of the race, then surely he's going to win because he's going to have the faster tyres to finish. But either way, we're going to try and pass Hamilton, possibly coming into turn 1 now. We're in the slipstream, we're going to go up the inside, and he leaves the room, and yes, we've got the lead of the Grand Prix on lap 10 here, setting purple sectors on the previous lap, and as you can see on the replay, Hamilton just takes a sidestep there and lets us go straight up the inside. So here's a replay of the overtake from Hamilton. Just listen to how committed we were coming into this. Yeah, you can hear it. The tyres were squealing on the approach to turn 1. I think we locked up the rear brakes a little bit. Lost the back end slightly, but still made the apex. Still overtook Hamilton without any contact. So very happy to get that move done. We now need to stretch out the lead as much as we can for the next 5 or 6 laps. Trying to build out that margin because we will be slower at the back end of the race. And as you can see, trying to push the boundaries here on another replay. We just hit the curbing there, sends us up onto 2 wheels. And that's fantastic when you see the body roll of the cars like that. It's not very often you see an F1 car get up on 2 wheels. This is V8 supercar stuff. But anyway, in the lead of the Grand Prix for the first time in many, many races. I'm actually having a lot of fun with this race. Lap 13, we can see Marcus Ericsson pulling off to the side there. Holding us up slightly, but not too much. Hamilton now 1.6 seconds back. He started to close us in as we stretched out our option tyres 1 lap longer than what we did in the first stint. And as you can see, our options are absolutely wrecked now. Coming in for a set of primes on lap 18 now. Hamilton will be coming in about 2 to 3 laps. How's the pit stop? 3.7 seconds, so decent stop from McLaren there. We need to push as much as we can because Hamilton will be coming in very soon. He's actually coming in on the very next lap, so Hamilton has obviously reacted to our strategy and he's trying to prevent this undercut from working. It's going to be very close between the two of us. Look at that, Hamilton has rejoined in the lead, and now we need to pass him coming into turn 1. There we go, we've got him into turn 1, taking the lead. Only 8 laps left. We need to hold off Hamilton as much as we can. As we can see on the replay, just a similar overtake to what we did the first time. Lap 24 now, we get caught up on the curb, and now Hamilton has taken the lead back. No, 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 we can't afford for Hamilton to take this lead, or he'll possibly win the championship. But anyway, lap 26 now, coming onto the final lap. We've held off Hamilton for this long. Don't lose it now in the final lap of this Grand Prix. Coming onto the 3rd sector now, we can see Hamilton has DRS. This is his final chance to overtake us. And look at this Mercedes power just keeping us in the race here. 3rd sector now. We can win this race. Come on. Let's go. Final corner. And look at this. We've just won the Russian Grand Prix.
Awesome, truly awesome. What a win.
Yes, lads. We've won the Russian Grand Prix only just off of Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, a long way back in 3rd place. It was just a two-horse race in this one. Very important win. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is our first race win in literally 6 or 7 races. We've broken the drought, and now we're looking very good for the championship. Lots of DNFs in the race. As you guys saw, Nico Rosberg and Daniel Ricciardo completely self-destructing on the first lap. Jenson Button, no finish or no points for him either. So it's been a disaster for many people in this race. The Drivers' Championship, we now lead by 9 points over Hamilton, heading into USA, Brazil, and the double points race in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be a very tight finish. It seems like Mercedes have found their mojo again, so it's going to be very, very tough to be on the pace at every single racetrack for the remainder of the season. But that's been the Russian Grand Prix. Until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time.